Rasengan could barely keep up. Yet Naruto was able to snatch Ishiki's high-speed chakra rods clean out of the air. He could track and grab projectiles that move with the speed and teleportation-like nature of Ishiki's dojutsu. There's no other way to go about it. Naruto is comfortably faster than light. Alright, finally, what about Ichigo? To understand Ichigo's scaling, you have to understand the Bleach cosmology. We know that the Soul King passively holds 3 separate realms, the living world, Soul Society, and Hueco Mundo, from collapsing into each other. And while these realms are often called worlds, in Bleach, each is treated as a complete dimension. Just like the living world, the Soul Society and Hueco Mundo have their own moons, stars, and space. This means that each of the 3 realms are their own dimension that are anywhere from their own solar systems to their own universes. Now, the Bleach downplayers claim that these realms are just planets with fake stars. There is zero evidence for that. The manga shows the night skies as real astronomical features, and the default assumption in fiction is that a star is a star unless stated otherwise. To suggest otherwise is just pure bias. Next, we know that after absorbing the Soul King and Mimihagi, Yhwach becomes able to destroy all 3 realms. This is explicitly stated in chapter 664.
And this is very different from Kaguya's space-time manipulation because we're talking about actual realms where the story takes place rather than mere pocket dimensions.
Now, how do we derive Ichigo's scaling from this? We know that in chapter 678, the moment Ichigo activates his Bankai, Yhwach, who has perfect precognition and can see every possible future, immediately breaks Ichigo's Bankai in the future via the Almighty. The implication is that Ichigo's Bankai was a formidable threat to a being with the power of the Soul King. Now, you can argue that Yhwach hacks the Bankai, but that is flawed logic. Yhwach's own actions prove relative power. If Ichigo was massively weaker, Yhwach could have shattered the blade physically or simply blocked the attack. Instead, he felt it was safer to alter reality itself than to let that blade touch him. So, what does that mean? How strong is Ichigo? To be clear, I'm not saying that this proves Ichigo is universal or that Ichigo beats Goku. This is just a straightforward chain of logic. Since Yhwach can destroy realms that have their own solar systems at the very least, Ichigo, who was a direct physical threat to that version of Yhwach and then got even stronger after the 1000-year Blood War arc, obviously scales to Yhwach in a combat-relevant way. Compare this to Naruto and Luffy and you'll understand why 2 of these do not belong in the same conversation as the third. One is island level at best, the other is planetary, while Ichigo was feared by Yhwach himself, who, by the way, the Versus Wiki lists as universal. I think that's a highball, but at least there's logic considering Yhwach's ability to destroy entire realms. And although there's Shibai Otsutsuki in Naruto, the character who ascended to a higher dimensional being after devouring countless chakra fruits over millennia, and you can argue that he's comparable to Yhwach, if not even stronger, but you see, unlike Ichigo, who was a legitimate threat to Yhwach, even Baryon Mode Naruto is basically fodder to Shibai Otsutsuki. Next, let's talk about Ichigo's speed, because this is